So it's a couple days later, we're back out here again. I think what we're gonna do first is fire the car up because it has been running since we put the engine back in. So let's at least start it, make sure it starts. I still have to put the water into the engine block. But I put the battery in. Let's see what happens. First things first, we'll check fuel prime, and see if we got any leaks. And maybe I didn't turn the switch on. Oh! Safety tip, which most people know, but when you're doing any kind of welding on a car, always unhook the computer or unhook the battery. So not only did I not have a battery in, I also unplugged the MS3 Pro box just to make sure that there wouldn't be any short circuits or anything. So I got to go plug that stuff in first before we can try starting it. All right, let's try that again. All right, so there was prime. So we'll take a look if there's anything leaking. I would hope there isn't, but you never know, right? No, everything looks good. Everything's tight. All right, let's give her a try. She runs, except I have a major exhaust leak from this exhaust pipe right here. So that, I don't know if that might be loose or something, or have to readjust it. Otherwise, and it didn't move, but that could be there's not enough transmission fluid in. Pretty sure I poured the old transmission fluid that was still good back in it. I'm pretty sure, so I'll just probably have to. All right, so if you saw that abrupt possible ending to that clip, it's because the SD card was full and I had to switch SD cards and etc. So I ended up adding some trans fluid, and now the transmission's good. It moves, so it runs, so that's good. I also tightened up the exhaust. These clamps were loose, both sides, and I tightened up all the ones underneath the car too, just to make sure they were good and tight. And I started it back up and it sounds okay now. So I also put water in, just poured water in. I have water wetter to put in it. That should help with the corrosion because it has a corrosion inhibitor in it. So yeah, so it runs. So we're all good to go there. Now we just need to do the alignment and we'll be ready to drive, which will continue tomorrow because now it's late and I have to go to work tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow. All right, so I did that stuff, bled the brakes, which I had to just bleed them quickly because I had those lines off. So I did that, just greased the front end and stuff, and spent the next couple hours just kind of cleaning, polish the wheels. While I polish the front ones, I still want to do the backs and kind of just detailed the car. And it's clean and pretty much ready to drive. Now, I started it up to check the transmission fluid, then top it up. I had to add a bit. And the exhaust is leaking from the V-bands here. This one is actually leaking pretty good, and this one is also leaking. So that one's not quite as bad. So I'm gonna have to let it cool off for a little while and then take it all apart because I don't know if it's just out of alignment, it needs silicone. I don't know. It never leaked like that before, so I don't know if that V-band is just not kind of in the right spot, and same with that one. I think I changed the location of where the V-band like bolt before. I think it used to come up from here, and I don't know if that caused any kind of issue, if it would have been pre-crushed to fit. I don't know. So I gotta let that cool off, and then I don't know, maybe we'll take it for a ride before the end of this video, or we will, but I don't know if it's gonna be right now or it'll be like tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys. So the next day, we're gonna take these V-bands off. So I see it's just not sitting straight. So I just have to readjust it. You can see there's a big gap down at the bottom. So it's just not sitting where it's supposed to, which could mean I have to loosen it off down there and readjust it maybe. I didn't think it was anything critical. I figured it was just something. Maybe I'll loosen that one off too first. Loosen this side. Not quite like there's a gap there, but you know, like it's kind of getting pulled away. So I think I'm gonna have to jack it up and loosen the other ones. So I remembered that, I don't know if you guys are ever gonna be able to see it. Let me get that light. There is a bracket right there where the light is pointing that goes down to the frame and bolts the exhaust on. Because the exhaust is so long, I figured I'd put a kind of a bracing in there, which I had to cut that off this side because of the steering rack. But now that I put a bolt in there, now it lines up. Now it lines up perfect. So that should cure that problem, and then we'll have to take a look at this side. Now this side, let's try to see what I can see. This side I might have to loosen this flange and turn the turbo a tiny bit maybe, because it also looks like it's not quite in the right spot, but it feels like I can't really move it. Don't forget, it also is really close to the steering rack, so I'll have to loosen off the turbo, and maybe it just needs to be tweaked a tiny bit up. Okay, so I think if I just loosen this off, the V-band goes to the header. There. Yeah, that's all it needed. So it was probably just out of adjustment from when I put it together. Guess I should pay more attention to that kind of stuff when I'm reassembling. The last time I ordered some stuff, I ordered some extra 2.5 and 3-inch V-bands, which I ended up using them on the headers here. And I should have ordered some 3.5-inch ones too. Okay, so hopefully that's going to solve that issue. Definitely a lot better. It still seems like it's leaking a bit from this one. I think it might have been leaking even before from that one. And that one seems okay. I think I might have to go underneath and tighten up the ones underneath maybe. But all in all, I think it's okay. This one, I don't know. I don't know if I should silicone it maybe or something, because like I said, it's still, if you look at, I don't know if you can see on the exhaust here, that it's a black, like it was leaking before when I took the exhaust off. There was black on it. So yeah, I don't know. I think it should be good enough for now. Maybe it just even needs to run and get hot and then retighten them after, and then it'll be better. But I think we should be good to go. So we're out here. I went and got some gas. I was gonna set you up on the suction cup and then the suction cup decided it was going to fall apart, so I can't really do that. So initial driving, I mean, the seats feel weird, which I need to get used to, obviously, because it's different. The steering, it feels good. It doesn't, it still seems like I got the steering off, like it's not, the steering wheel isn't totally straight, which I'm kind of surprised because I thought it would be. I just got out and took a look at it, and the front wheels look nice and straight and everything. So yeah, I don't know. I'll go for a ride. I'll try to film a little bit of it, just holding the camera. It might need a little bit of fine tuning. It almost feels like something's a little notchy in the steering, like one of the U-joints is touching something. So I might have to get in there and do a little clearancing, possibly. I guess we'll see. Guys, back in the garage. Yeah, so I don't know, sorry those clips were kind of shitty, but it's kind of the best I could do. And it definitely feels like it's running good and goes good. It goes nice and straight, like accelerating. The steering feels good. It's obviously different than the old steering, so it's going to take some time to get used to. I still think there's a little something binding up a little bit that I might have to make a slight adjustment on, but that's gonna have to wait for the next video, guys. So like always, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Check you later.